Hey everybody, it's Nina at Self-Care Adventures. So today we are going to do a video on tretinoin. Yay. So this one's a long time coming. I'm gonna do my best. All right. So I'm gonna go over an article and we're gonna try to do the key points on what tretinoin is, just as an intro. Now I do like to go over everything just to be clear on the in and outs of everything. But at the end, or midway section, I'm going to talk to you how it works on a cellular level, because that's what we all want to know, right? Does it actually work, and how does it actually work? Things like that. And of course, in the end, I'm going to give you my thoughts and a review after using it. Again, if you haven't watched anything in my channel, I do like to talk about beauty and specifically skincare. And I'll try to add a couple more new things that I'm trying out throughout the year and see how that goes. But again, my main topic is skincare and beauty. So if you are into that, I would love for you to subscribe and like the channel. And it would be so amazing if you do. I would appreciate it so much. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and continue with the video. All right, so this is the article that I am reading. I'm going to go over the article because, as you know, you have to get this prescribed from a dermatologist or your primary doctor. And so there's no like websites that I can go to. So I'm going to go to this article from Academic Alliance in Dermatology. So what is tretinoin cream? Okay, it is a derivative of vitamin A. Okay, you know what? Everybody knows what vitamins are. Okay, and it's a topical retinoid, and it helps treat acne, and it's effective against aging, wrinkles, and sunspots. All right, but as I am aware, when it initially came out, it was to treat acne, and then they've realized over time that it has anti-aging benefits, which is always great because now it's like this super well-known ingredient to help with things that come up when you're getting older. So the benefits of tretinoin cream. Now they also have, this one is a cream by the way, and they also have ointments, I believe, but the cream is going to be more gentle in a way, even though it still has the same percentage. And the one I have is 0.025. So I believe that is the lowest that you can get. But again, ask your dermatologist. And then the highest is, I believe, 0.1%. So not 0.025 or 0.05, 0.1%. Okay, we're going to go ahead and continue. We've discussed the other two, and it also helps with hyperpigmentation, skin smoothing, and here are the percentages. 0.025 is mostly for people with mild concerns, sensitive skin, mild acne, and the initial signs of aging. 0.05% is for moderate, when you have some tolerance, more pronounced skin concerns, moderate acne, and more noticeable signs of aging, just like in the article. And then the 0.1% is the highest prescribed strength. This is for people with the highest tolerance, like you've been building up to that point within a couple months to a year, okay? Or if you don't have any skin irritations, then you can go up to that level. And it's for people with severe acne and more significant signs of aging. All right, so you just keep going up depending on where you're at on the chart. So building up different strengths over time. So of course, you start on the lower strength, allow your skin to acclimate, and gradually move to the higher concentration if needed. And of course, you begin with the lower dosage for several months. And then if your skin tolerates it, then you go to the 0.05%. And then you reevaluate it again, probably after another couple months. And then after your dermatologist feels like it's appropriate, you can shift to the higher strength. Now, I don't know if it's really necessary for me to go up yet because I don't have as much acne issues and I have mild aging issues. You can determine that with your doctor. And this describes how to use the tretinoin cream. It says, if you're new, begin applying it every other night to see how your skin reacts. And then over time, your skin will build tolerance, and then you can increase the frequency. So what I'm doing is I do it like 2 to 3 times a week. And then the third week, you can do 3 days. And then you continue the 3 days for the next couple months. And then you can reevaluate your skin. Okay. And then obviously, if you have any irritation, then obviously you should stop and start back down again, or stop entirely. Okay, but we'll go ahead and continue how to use it. Make sure you have a clean skin and it's dried. And of course, always use sunscreen during the day. So when to start tretinoin? So it's not just reactive treatment, but it can be proactive one. It can prevent and address skin concerns, and the right age can vary person to person. Introducing in their late 20s or early 30s can be beneficial, especially if signs of aging or skin damage are a concern. However, those with acne-prone skin might start even earlier. Regardless, consult with a dermatologist. Okay. The potential side effects. Now, it can include redness, peeling, dryness, increased sensitivity, and most of these side effects can subside as the skin acclimates to the product. Cream is a potent and proven skincare ingredient, but like all powerful treatments, it is essential to use it correctly. Our team of dermatology providers can provide you a guide to incorporate tretinoin into your routine, ensuring you reamp all of its benefits while minimizing potential side effects. Okay, so that is it for the intro. And now you know, from the benefits to how to use and what to look out for. So now we're going to talk about how does it actually work on a cellular level. I got my notes here, so I'm going to look over here. Okay, number 1, the mechanism of action. So tretinoin is the vitamin A derivative, all right? So once applied to the skin, it penetrates the epidermis and binds to nuclear retinoic acid receptors inside the skin cells, keratinocytes, and fibroblasts. Okay. These receptors act as transcription factors, meaning they turn certain genes on and off. Okay, we'll stop right there. Tretinoin is a derivative. It comes from vitamin A. So a form of vitamin A. Okay, now you get a pea size of tretinoin, you apply it to your skin. What happens? It gets soaked in your skin, right? And it's made of different molecules. The tretinoin is going to bind to the keratinocytes and the fibroblasts. It's going to bind to them, okay? Those cells, it's going to tell it to turn on or off, on or off, on or off, okay? So part 2, I'm going to read it to you. Effects on the keratinocytes, the cells that are on top, the outer layer of your skin. But their outer layer has different layers as well. And they're made of keratinocytes, or they call it the epidermal cells, all right? The effects on the keratinocytes. 1, it regulates cell turnover. The tretinoin speeds up the shedding of old, damaged keratinocytes in the stratum corneum. So it speeds up that process of the old cells and turning over to the new cells. It promotes growth of new healthy cells, improving texture and reducing roughness. Okay, just like baby skin. Baby skin is nice and smooth. And then number 2, normalizes differentiation. So it normalizes differentiation, which means it helps keratinocytes mature properly, reducing clogged pores and preventing comedones, which are blackheads and whiteheads. So again, it has an effect on the keratinocytes by regulating the cell turnover. And then number 2, it helps normalize differentiation. Imagine they're bricks in the skin, all squished together and flat, and there's layers of them. Those individual bricks are the keratinocytes. It's going to attach to these keratinocytes, to those receptors, and it's going to normalize this differentiation. So again, the keratinocytes are like, imagine, They're bricks on the house. They're individual bricks. These are the keratinocytes. But there's layers of bricks on top of each other, right? After they're attached to the receptors, it tells the keratinocytes to make sure you are going through those steps properly, okay? You're normalizing that process, the differentiation of it, okay? There's different steps, right? So they're normalizing the different steps of maturing the cells. They're maturing the cells old, and they're trying to bring in the new cells. They're cycling through that process, old to new. All right. And when you're doing that, if normalizing that differentiation, then you're good and you're set. Okay, you can get that cycle flowing. But sometimes things happen. You get oily skin, you get bacteria, pollution, UV rays, whatever, right? Outside factors in your skin, and then you start to get blackheads and whiteheads. Those are the comedones. The comedones are blackheads and whiteheads. I did not know that. That's why in other ingredient lists, they always say non-comedogenic. That's what it means. Comedogenic. Comedone. Comedogenic. Comedone is when there's the cells, those keratinocytes, all the dead cells up top accumulate, and the oil from your skin combine together and they turn into a comedone, or what they call it, whiteheads and blackheads. Whiteheads are what's underneath the skin, okay? The accumulation of dead skin cells and oil. The blackheads are the same thing, but it is exposed to the outside world and is becoming oxidized, and it turns black, a blackhead and a whitehead. I know, it's crazy. That was cool. Honestly, I'm so proud of myself, like understanding the whole process of the tretinoin. Like you hear tretinoin, helps with cell turnover, helps with aging, helps with acne, da. But that is how it helps with acne. It's helping it to turn over so you don't get the accumulation of dead cells and oil to form the whiteheads, the blackheads, the acne in your skin. That is how it's working. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay, cool. So that's part 2. Part 3 is the effects of fibroblasts, the dermal cells, in the second layer of your skin. So it's the epidermis, the dermis, and the hypodermis. So now we're talking about the dermis, the middle layer, where the fibroblasts are. Okay? So part 3, it helps boost collagen production. That's what we want, collagen production. It increases the expression of genes type 1 and 3. Type 1 is the one we want. Type 3 is the early collagen, where you get the plumpness of the skin. And collagen 1 is the collagen that's nice and firm. And that's when your skin, that's where you start to see less fine lines and wrinkles. Okay. So it's the stronger collagen. So it's like collagen 3, it's like first place, second place, third place. The third place is the collagen that's a little bit weaker. The first place is the best, the strongest. So it helps boost the collagen production. Okay. And helps increase elastin and other extracellular matrix proteins. All right. Helps plump the skin and reduce fine lines and improve elasticity. It also reduces collagen breakdown. It inhibits enzymes called MMPs, which are normally increased by UV damage. So why is that important? Okay. So first, it boosts up the collagen production and it reduces collagen breakdown by stimulating the fibroblast to produce more collagen. Okay. But it also inhibits this enzyme, MMPs. Okay, MMPs. What is MMPs? So they are enzymes that break down extracellular matrix proteins, including collagen and elastin. It's produced by the fibroblasts, the keratinocytes, and immune cells, especially in response to UV radiation and inflammation. Why does it matter? It helps with balance. When it's in balance, it can help remodel the skin normally. If you have excess of it, It can chew up the collagen and elastin, leading to wrinkles, sagging, and impaired barrier repair. The tretinoin downregulates the MMPs. This prevents the collagen breakdown and lets fibroblasts build more type 1 and type 3 collagen. It's like my analogy about the house. So you have the bricks and you have builders. And first you go in with the collagen 3 builders. They build up the framework. And then collagen 1 workers are going to come back with all this steel metal framing. Okay. The first one was wood framing, collagen 3. And then the second time is the metal steel framing, collagen 1. The MMP players are the demolition people. Sometimes you need those people to help demolish work that is not correct. Okay. And rebuild it. So that is what the demolition is. But if you have too many workers, those kind of type of workers, those demolition people, if you only need 1 or 2, then you're good. And you can tell them stay on the side after you're done. Okay? But then if you have 50 that comes over and they just start breaking down everything, you're not going to have a house anymore. That's what the tretinoin is doing. It's going to tell the MPP. It's going to help down regulate the MMP, the proteins in the dermis. Yes. So again, it's going to help reduce cellular breakdown. Okay. Because it's going to attach, the tretinoin is going to attach to the fibroblasts. It's going to tell the genes to build more collagen 1 and collagen 3, while simultaneously inhibiting the MMPs from coming out too much, therefore making it work more efficiently. So it's going to rebuild and turn over and replace the old cells with the new cells. And then they start over, and the same process over and over again. So the tretinoin will again help regulate the demolition MMPs. Okay, you need them, but you don't need too many of them. And you want the project to finish. You want the cells to turn over properly. So that is what the tretinoin does. It's going to help build the house in a step-by-step process. The first step, you got to build the frame with collagen 3. The second step, then you put in the metal frames with collagen 1. And in between, there's the MMPs. They'll help regulate that, help reduce the breakdown of collagen. Instead of having too many, it's going to regulate the MMPs. Part 4, anti-aging and acne benefits. Anti-aging, again, there's faster cell turnover, increased collagen, and stronger extracellular matrix, lead to smoother and firmer skin. Okay, and then obviously acne, it clears pores, reduces follicular hyperkeratinization, and regulates sebum indirectly. Sebum equals oil. Okay, got it. Okay, let me go back to the acne. It says clears clogged pores. Got that. Reduces follicular hyperpigmentations. Follicular equals follicle, like the follicle of the hair, right? Or the base of the skin, basically. The follicle of the skin. It reduces follicular hyperkeratinization. Hyper is more, overproduction, keratinization, the overproduction of skin cells. So what it does is it helps with cells turnover, right? So when you start to get that acne, that whitehead, blackhead, your cells will clump together, combine with the oil. But instead, the tretinoin will help regulate that as well. It helps reduces that follicular hyperkeratination. So it's the buildup underneath the skin of dead cells and oil. The overproduction of that by helping reduce what they call desmosomes. Desmosomes are like the glue of the keratinocytes in between. It's going to help regulate that. The keratinocytes, they're all glued together with desmosomes, the glue. And the keratinocytes are going to be attached. The tretinoin attaches to the keratinocytes. But before that, all these layers of dead skin gets overlapped and squished together because oil traps them all together. The tretinoin is going to attach to the keratinocytes, and it's going to release an enzyme called proteases or something like that. And they're going to help break down the glue, the desmosomes. It's going to break it down so that they're not all squished together, but they all become flat and even again. Keeping it less sticky and oily, helping with the sebum oil production, and help them release and not get trapped and flow freely to the levels they need to go. Helping reduce follicular hyperkeratinization. Got it. All right. Oh, man. Okay. Part 5, the cellular summary. So, again, the keratinocytes is going to increase proliferation, increase the renewal process, normalize the differentiations, so help normalize the routine, resulting in smooth, clear skin and unclogged pores. The tretinoin is going to target fibroblasts. The fibroblast is going to stimulate collagen and elastin and inhibit the MMP players, the demolition players. Okay. Therefore, resulting in reduced wrinkles and firmer skin. And the overall epidermis is going to promote cell turnover, resulting in brighter and more even skin tone. And that is how tretinoin works on a cellular level. Did you get that? I hope you did. If you didn't, rewatch my video, okay? Like it, share it, subscribe it. So, yes, that was a lot of information. But honestly, I feel so much better understanding how tretinoin actually works. Isn't that cool? All right, so my final thoughts on tretinoin. I mean, for the most part, I like it. I feel like all my videos, I say, yeah, I like everything, which I kind of do in a way, unless something was just horrible and smelled horrible or I reacted to it or whatever, then I would probably give you a more explanation of why I wouldn't like it. But in general, everyone talks about tretinoin, and I have finally tried it out. Now, initially, I did get peeling, okay? And truthfully, I'm not as consistent with this as I should be, but I am going to make a schedule. I plan to make a schedule to incorporate all my devices, all my products, and I'm going to tell you about it later. But in this video, I'm going to talk about tretinoin and when I have used it, my experience. Again, yeah, I think I had like peeling. It did not react very well to my neck, but over time, my face and my neck did acclimate to the product. Over time, I didn't get any peeling. I didn't get any redness. I have no issues and things like that. So over time, it does work. Now, I am on the lower dosage, so I don't know how the higher dosage is going to be. But again, everybody is going to tell you your skin and the next person's skin is going to be different. Like how you're going to react to products is going to be different from the next person sitting next to you. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Like, we're not all the same person. But in my experience, I have no major issues. Now, again, you do have to get it prescribed. That is the only inconveniency of it. But what I did was I did a virtual appointment. So I basically talked to her face to face over a phone call. I told the doctor why I was interested in doing it. And I basically just said for the anti-aging benefits. And she gave me a generalized recommendations on it. And one, I wanted to get rid of my dark spots. And so she also prescribed me hydroquinone and the tretinoin. I think I specifically asked for both. So I have both and I'm using both of it and I like both. Now this at first I was doing the sandwich effect or technique where you put lotion on, a gentle lotion by the way. I just use like CeraVe or Cetaphil and I'll put a layer of that and then the tretinoin and then I put another layer of lotion. Now I did that for a couple weeks and over time my skin started to get used to it. And then I had another appointment with her later on. I don't remember when I had my next follow-up appointment, but she told me it's not going to be as effective if you do the sandwich effect. But I was worried I was going to get a reaction, and I've heard that if you do the sandwich effect, you are going to get less of a reaction and so forth. And the reason probably is because you're putting another layer of something else before the tretinoin. So it's not going to be as potent in a way. It's not going to be as effective as if you were just applying it directly to your skin. So after that, I started applying it directly to my skin, and it was fine. Maybe because I did the sandwich technique before putting it directly, but I think my skin has acclimated to the product, and so I'm fine putting it on my skin directly. So that's what I'm doing, and I haven't had any issues other than that. Now again, like I said, I have not been as consistent with the product, but I'm going to reincorporate this more soon, like probably this coming week, to get the full benefits of it, because I went through that whole process. I might as well go ahead and get the full benefits. So that is my experience with that. Now I need to make a schedule. I'm going to make a schedule coming up soon, and I'm going to let you know what my routine is going to be, or at least my thought process of my routine. Because again, I'm using devices, I'm using other skincare products, and I'm using prescription products. So I need to be smart about it and make sure I plan it correctly so I don't overstimulate my skin, treat my skin. So that is my thought process. I like it, and I'm going to keep using it. And I don't really see a huge issue for me. I don't have any reactions, and I think hopefully over time it should work. So I'm hoping for the best. But yeah, that is my thought process. That is my explanation. I hope you enjoyed the video. I explained it well enough, and I hope it helped you in your process. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.